Good. Hey, happy weekend, Art One guys. If I know some of you guys might be working on your homework, others if you're slacking off, there's a lot of stuff you guys need to catch up. I take late assignments. Sorry, I was cleaning something up. I take late assignments. You need to turn them in. But This video is the first part, part A. Hope I don't have to make too many of these. We're gonna start coloring our 2-point perspective drawing. No, although mine is not completely done. Some of you guys have finished yours. Here's what the goal is. So I already I basically dumped out all my color pens. Here we go. I'm trying to find my felt tip pen. So I'm going to put my ink on the side. If you don't have a felt tip pen, a black ballpoint ink pen will work very nicely, actually, believe it or not. I'm more of a fan of those guys than felt tip. Although this is not felt tip. I got some red ink, which I should not be using, but you never know. So right now what I'm doing is I'm dividing my pencils. Okay, so pen, ink. So we're gonna later on work on our watercolor. Sorry about the clock. Our colorist. Here's a pencil. So I'm moving my regular pencils on one side. So I'm setting up my studio. So as a colorist, make sure you have all the color pencils you do have. I have also various types of brown. Your color wheel. You should have your color wheel nearby as a reference if you made your color wheel. Also, think of it as your palette. There's a little pencil I don't need here. I'm also keeping my erasers right here for very good reason. Let me put that pen away. I really don't need it there. I keep my, the reason is, the great thing about colorists, when you color, is you can erase. So let's see, I have my color wheel right here as a reference. Remember, there's no black here at all. It's the mix of, listen, for example, we got orange yellow here, and it's frenemy or complementary, which is blue violet. Green will always be red. Blue green will be red orange. And like I mentioned, or yellow green will be red violet. So that's how we combine our colors. And you always want to have the yellow upward. Now, this is not finished. This is one I did in class with some of you guys. I only did a value strip. In the video, I did both. When we do chiaroscuro, it's the last thing. So what we do is we mix a complementary without black. Okay, so we mix the complementary, and then we just add a little bit of the chiaroscuro, the Italian, just a little bit. That's it. You don't put black on it. Now, what happened here is, believe it or not, this is not black. The black is a little bit here in the center, but everything else is red. You have yellow, white yellow, and orange yellow. But in the center, I have its complementary. So it is orange yellow. So yellow yellow orange, and its complementary is, of course, blue violet or blue purple, and that's how it turned black because you're mixing them. The black I added mostly down here at the bottom. For example, these two I did here. The blue, it's complementary, it's orange. If you look up, there's going to be orange there, but a little bit of black. Here was green, and then I didn't put black in here. I really didn't need it, but I did put it down here. And the light's hitting in two different directions. So we want to use the complementary to color in 3 dimensions, with height, width, and depth, and value. Mostly value, if you want to think about it this way. So I have a light brown here, which I just middle brown. I'm not going to use that one. But so let's start working on our tree. Hopefully my water has dried up. No, it's still wet on this one. Okay, so I'm going to try to finish this rooftop. Now, most of the detail, I'm going to be honest with you guys, you're going to want to keep it here. So I'm going to take this one right now. Let's do this. Most rooftops in Northeast, and even because of the influence of China, of the Chinese culture, the tiles are shaped like cylinders or tubes or pipes. They actually are pipes, but they're influenced because of the functionality of the bamboo. Okay, the bamboo is used in several engineering and architectural designs throughout China. The Chinese actually championed it. It was later adopted by the Koreans and the Japanese. in their cultures too. They did have an early admiration towards the Chinese culture, civilization, I should say, of Imperial China. They basically had their act together. Can't say much about the current state, but let's just say, the Imperial Chinese developed. They went from an aristocratic to a, let's call it, bureaucratic office. I'm trying to make the cylinder goes up there. Okay, so I'm going to try to finish these, and they should get smaller and smaller, less detail. Now, I shouldn't have done this much detail back here, and I'm going to lose it with the coloring, believe it or not. So let me do the bamboo here, and remember the rule of the vanishing point. So I'm going to grab my ruler again. If you have a wooden ruler, that will work too. My vanishing point, oh my god, I think I lost it. Yeah, I know it's right here, but I blended it in with the tree, so I'm going to put it here. There we go. There we go. So I'm just doing the covers for this window here. And maybe a little window here that is slightly open. And it's going to look, actually I'm going to see this part of the wall. This side's going to be a little bit darker, but not too much. So I've added too much detail here. I shouldn't add this much detail here at a distance. Whoops. That's okay. I'm going to lose that, believe it or not. And let me just curve this, make it look like it's bamboo. There we go. I'm not going to put a window down there. So now, if you don't have a felt tip pen, you can definitely use this. I don't know where I left my felt tip pen. Please tell me it's here. Nope. More ballpoint ink pens here and there. I swear to God, I had like 3 of them. It's okay. So put your color wheel wherever best helps. Now, what do I have? Where's my tissue? Oh, so this is what's happening right now. I'm going to keep some tissue here. The reason is I don't do the dip on my tongue like some artists. Those are very amateur artists who do that. So you can actually, believe it or not, use your ballpoint ink pen. It actually dries quicker. Actually, you can actually control skinny line to a thick line. You just sketch. You might have to do a double take to make your thicker lines. Here I am. The problem is you don't want to ink. Do not ink first. Ink last. So what you want to do right now is you already did your tree here. And I'm going to do the tree trunk here too. So my light source is coming from here. I'm going to erase this because I don't want the L there later on, but I'm going to erase it later. So I'm going to grab what I need for my tree. I'm going to need brown, definitely orange. There's a little bit orange left. If the tip seems to be going, just use your pencil sharpener. Okay, I kind of don't like this one. I do have a professional one. Here we go. This one works much better. We don't use those electrical ones for colored pencils for 2 reasons. It eats them up. It eats them up quick. And you have 2 holes. So you want to get believe it or not, just one from a 99-cent store. The problem with the wood here, that's the problem. This is an old colored pencil. I think it could have been my dad's. So that tip will work good. See that? We can work with that. We have the brown here. I'm trying to get the light brown. This will work good. So I'm doing my brown section for on this side. Okay, so I have yellow here. So I'm looking for my yellow. There's my yellow. I really do need yellow. So I have to figure out where my light source is coming from. Okay, I'm going yellow. This is my. So remember, brown, orange. Brown is part of the orange family. I had a tanny color. Don't know where it is now. Ooh, I like this one too. It's kind of old. It's being worn down, but I'm going to keep it here. It's actually a pretty good brown. I don't want to. Might use it. Nobody uses brown that much. Blue. So again, orange is part of the. So I got my orange. Definitely yellow. I'm going to need. But I'm looking for purple for 2 reasons, and there's definitely a black here. I'm going to test it out. Yeah, that's black. Yeah, it will work. But I need purple to darken it. I'll tell you why. Especially this, and maybe a light blue. Oh, I should go with a darker blue. The complementary of, I should go with the darker one. I'll tell you why. And I'm going to keep it with the black. I'm going to make sure it's black again. Yeah, okay. The complementary of yellow first is purple. Okay, across the color wheel. This is how we darken yellow with the purple. How we darken, you cannot do it with black first. You have to do its complementary. It's like baking and cooking. Uh, the complementary, I'm going to go with the darker blue. For orange is blue. These guys are complementary to each other. So this means these two, okay, are the complementary of brown. And here's my light brown. So this is closer to this orange. This brown actually, think of this. This brown is really orange with more purple. That's what it is. That's how we make our own brown. Not the other way, like you're thinking after lunch. No, not that kind of brown. Okay, so again, and then when you get the shadow, when you mix these browns to get its shadow, then you touch it up with black, just very little. Think of this like the sugar you add to when you're baking a cake. You don't put a full cup. If the recipe asks for only 10% or a teaspoon, that's what you're putting. Only a teaspoon of black. Okay, you don't put black in here at all. Never, even through painting. Any kind of paint you might use, watercolor, oils, you never put black in here. And you do mix all your colors here. Nobody gets a perfect gray. Okay. I even said that to my Art 1 students, and I showed it. I did it on purpose not to get the gray. And I had kids who, I told them not to put black in there or white, and they did. They just don't listen. Thank God my dad used to belt on me. So anyways, let's get to the tree right now. So I am going to erase the cylinder, but I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to hide it with the coloring. So I'm going to do a second tree trunk before I start touching up the cherry blossom. So, and we're going to color the castle too. So we're pretty much done with the fortification. I might even add a window up here now. I'm going to go with a cylinder. I'm going to go with a circle. Nope. I guess I'm going to go with a circle here. And I'm going to do like it's open. Maybe a little door here. But it's closed. Whoops. The line should go this way. There we go. So there's my, and maybe do another. Will that work? No. I know where it should go now. I'm going to put my cylinder here and curve this a little bit. And there's the cylinder. And it's done that way for two things. When it snows or rains, the water drips down on it. So, and I don't know where my fill tip pen. I really did need it. Because I have the, if you notice, I have these. Okay, that pencil is not working. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to go into my other, I'm going to grab a fill tip from somewhere else. Oh, look, another black. Oh, no, that's a purple I need. So leave that there. My mother probably grabbed it. Keep telling her not to, but she does. Nothing. Estoy haciendo un video para mis estudiantes. Y necesito un bolígrafo que a lo mejor tú lo agarraste. Let's see if I have any felt tip pens in here. Okay, guys, I'm still looking for the felt tip pen, which I need. Oh, God. I miss being alone. Oh, God. Keep telling her not to go into my stuff. No, I can't find it. Okay, let's just get started. So, okay, I'm going to have to work this with a ballpoint ink pen. And I've been there before. So, I'm going to do this with the ballpoint ink, just like some of you guys. Actually works much better. And what I'm doing is I'm doing this first before I color my tree. It's because I want the ink to dry up. So I'm going to do these. If you notice, I'm doing the windows here. because I really don't. I want them to be noticeable, night color, and maybe add some texture. So let me close this window. So I'm going to erase the pencil drawing too. I have this. So there's my. This goes up, and the tube goes down here. Believe it or not, that's how it works. See that? So while I did my landscape, well, my subject is the castle, but I'm using this, and this is how I can thicken the lines. Okay, let me do this one too. Okay, that works really nicely. There we go. I might just add 2 more windows here. Let me just finish this for you guys. There we go. There's an opening here. Okay. These ones kind of get a little bit off, but that's okay. Let's finish the windows. Not all windows are, the reason not all windows are done the same, because it depends on the marksman of the shooter, the guy who is, the night watch, or the guy who's in charge with his musket. These were military bases. We would love to romanticize feudal Japan, just like feudal Western Europe. But, you have to remember, this was a military age, a brutal age, um, so you always had quarrels between families, between, feuds among clans. Clans is a larger family, that's basically it. So you would have an extended second and third cousins, and maybe they didn't like other cousins with another clan. Like Romeo and Juliet, when you guys read that in your English classes. So, see that? Here we go. Let me finish the windows on this side too. I did this one here. So the trick to it, you want to go stop, go, stop, go. Makes it actually, believe it or not, it makes it go much quicker. And the reason I'm not doing all of it, just a few of these, is because when I start coloring, I don't want it to smear. Okay, and I'm pretty much happy with the composition right now. So let me do this right here. It's giving it a circular window. I hope the angle's correct here. Good. Right here. Whoops. Maybe I'm going to add a little bit of an edge here. Just a little bit. And maybe here too. There we go. I'm not going to ink the whole thing. So do I have this here? I got this one right here. And this one goes here. So I'm going to do the stones separately. I'm going to skip around with the stones too. I'm not going to do all of them, but pretty much a few. And I'm not trying to do a straight line because I want it to look like, a little bit on and off. You skip, it's like skip and jump. There we go. There we go. That's a good stone. This one has a lot of character to it. And this one here too. I'll give it some shadow there. I haven't finished my windows. So this is what you guys should have done last week. If you haven't, try to get it done, please. There we go. Sometimes you want to do a little bend. That's okay. Wood does dry up. And you want to give it some texture too. There we go. Giving it some texture. Sorry, I've been tired from drawing so much this week with you guys. Okay, there we go. Maybe edge some of it here too. Let me get this edge here. There we go. I just want to emphasize. There we go. A few of these. There we go. Get the stone here. Okay, there we go. Maybe a little bit here too. Remember, we lose detail. We don't have much detail back here. We can't see because our eye can't see that distance. Eye vision is limited. We could see a little bit here, a little bit here, but so if it's going this way, that means I'm going to see, where am I seeing? Okay, so I'm seeing it the opposite here. There we go. Not too much. Right here too. I can see also where I got tired. Do my bent here, my cylinder. So again, ballpoint ink pen will work very nicely. Can you guys see that? Okay, so whoops. I got my other cylinder going this way too. Shoots out like here. And then I'm going to put a little bit, there we go. And that came out nicely. And right here. So let's do, this one's a little bit off. There we go. See that, guys? Whoops. So if you go offline, just fix it. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to do this with my stones right here. There we go. Okay. So we're going to start coloring any minute now. I just want to ink the windows first. Okay. Just in case, you know, when we start coloring, stuff goes off. So do my window here. That's coming out very nicely, I have to admit. Sometimes you forget you do your own work, and that's a good thing. You think you're looking at somebody else's, and you're admiring it. So if you're doing that, you're like, oh, okay, and then you're, oh, I did this, oh, okay. And then, I don't know, I just don't appreciate my own work sometimes. Most artists do that, you know. And that's a good sign, it means you're not an egotist, you know. So put a couple here. And let me start working on these windows here. And I am kind of going fast through it because I'm thinking of you guys right now. Not of my work, but my students. And like I said, you guys can skip around. I'm trying to follow diagonal lines too. If you want to use your ink right now to add shadow, you can definitely. So my shadow's coming from this side. So this means this side could be a little bit darker. There we go. So this means I'm going to have shadow here. And that's what I'm doing. I'm adding texture right now. Let me finish this one window here. There we go. I'm not doing it to every window, just most of the. There we go. And another stick here. Another stick, probably laying it there. There we go. So this means if my light's coming from this direction, here's the trick. These windows here will be dark, but the light's going to hit the wall. Okay, but the side here, this one's going to darken here. It's just physics, I guess. You know, couple of lines. Some people like to do all of it. I would do not all of them, but just a few. You know, maybe one up here because it's closer to us. Whoops, went off a little bit, but that's okay. Not too much, just a few. Okay, same thing. Did I do everything here? So this means my light's coming here. It's going to hit here. Maybe a little shadow here. This side's going to be darker. A little texture. This means this side's going to be darker. Light comes here. It's going to hit on this side. So this side might be a little bit darker here. But we can't see that. Okay, a little texture here as well here. The ink also helps us establish, guys, it helps us establish part of our composition again. And we can fix some of the stuff we might just didn't realize we did it with the pencil. So right now I'm trying to lift these up a bit more. Let's make that go good. That's pretty high, I know. And here's this goes in. Put another line going this way. Oh, we got this other tower here. Let me do a few stones down here. There we go. I just feel very uncomfortable to start coloring, and I'm not happy with how this looks right now, just in pencil. So I think we're pretty good with the center tower. I'm going to do mostly. So if my light's coming this way, this means I'm going to have more shadow here, although not too much, because light will be reflecting from the water source. Okay, and then we have this other source here too. There we go. We have all these little windows here, I forgot. Okay, texture, not too much, just enough. There we go. Maybe another window here. This window here. A bit of a line here. There we go. Okay, so I'm pretty much going to take a break from the inking. I'm going to start coloring. So if you don't have a felt tip pen, I prefer a felt tip pen. I couldn't find mine, but use a ballpoint ink pen. That will work just as good. I'm going to keep this one because I kind of like it. Put my gum down. Okay, so I'm going to start coloring. So I'm going to do my tree. Now, my tree here, I do have a cylinder, so I'm going to erase some of the cylinder. Can't erase all of it. Also, the best thing is we can erase color too with this. So my light's coming from this source, but it's going to do this, and this. So in fact, I'm going to have probably two sources of light, mostly from this reflection, believe it or not. Okay, and maybe a little bit up here, but not too much. I know this one will have, and this root probably here, because the light's going to hit mostly here. So I'm going to put more yellow here. Believe it or not, it acts like a mirror. So especially this branch here. And why am I doing the tree trunk and the branches first? Well, I'll tell you two things why. And why am I adding more yellow to this? This is where my light's hitting on this side. And you're going to notice the brown turn lighter. Because I told you guys, brown is part of the orange family. And it's already a darker orange. So just by adding the yellow in there, it's going to lighten itself up. See that? So I'm emphasizing the light source. Where's my pencil sharpener? It's already. So I'm going to redo that same recipe for tree. So for tree, like I said, let me just emphasize the light. There we go. Trying to make it look like there's roots there. There we go. I just had to touch this up a bit. And one more time. So I added yellow. You guys are going to see. Light's going this way. Here's my light source. I'm going to erase that L in a little while. Goes this way and it hits it here. And also the water. Also will hit the light from here too. So it's getting at two sides. Okay, except this side, even though there's not much, let's just do this branch just in case, and this one too. What I want to do is grab some white. Okay, and hopefully, nope, my white pencil's not sharpened, so let me grab another white pencil. And I hope I did sharpen the tip. Okay, so this is the one I was using yesterday with a student of mine. So I'm going to have to sharpen. Not all, you don't want to get a fine tip. You just want to get enough. There we go. I can work with that. And always when you sharpen, let me show you how to sharpen colored pencils. You go to the part you can see through it and see where the wood is. That's all you need to peel off. You're just peeling it off. There we go. Some of you guys just want to get that fine tip, and the fine tip doesn't work. So right now what I'm doing is I'm adding white to this. The reason is I want the light reflection to be lighter here. I'm going to make this into a white yellow. Okay, what you guys might call gold. So I have white in there. So I'm going to mix the yellow right now. Just like we're basically painting with pencils. Okay, there we go. So now that I've done that, here comes the other part. I'm going to go upside down. I'm going to add the orange. Now I can turn this into orange. And it's going to turn into brown, trust me. This side's where it's getting its darker shadow here too. I'm going to put some lines into some texture into the tree. Maybe a little bit here. But wait, I'm not fully done. I need some shadow. So I'm going to have to add the shadow, guess where? In the center. Right here. Right here, I'm putting purple. No, I'm not. So I was putting black, so I can still mess with this. So I'm going to put the shadow right here. And down here to the root, at the bottom of the root, I'm going to add some purple. Just very fine. Maybe some down here too. Down here, actually, outside. So I'm going to add some purple here, going up this root. Maybe a little bit up here, and maybe some down here. And I got to work fast. There we go. Because this is where my dark side is. Don't add the black yet. I'll tell you why. You want to blend in the brown. So go find your, might want to add a little bit more orange on this side, just in case. I'm going to add some orange on this side. And you're like tripping. Don't worry. I'm not. I know what we're doing. Because remember, brown is part of the orange family. Okay, a little bit down here too. So we can have a nice transition, especially down here. And we're going to have, basically the color's going to change, but we're going to make it really slow. So I'm going to go with the light brown, not the dark brown first. And here I am. I'm going to start browning this a bit. And you're going to see the changes right now. See that? And then even if I blend it in here, it's going to create texture to it. And I'm doing a big no-no. This is how you should be coloring. There you go. See that? There we go. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to add some brown there too. I'm just trying to blend it in with the purple. There's my shadow. I might as well put more blue in. Well, it's too late for the blue. Where's the purple at? And I had to do grocery shopping this morning, and it would have been much better with the morning light for me. I like to paint in color in the mornings. I'd like to draw better in the evenings, but in the mornings, it's there. So we have the shadow here. So it means my shadow is going to go down here on the lawn. On this side, it's going to go back here probably. Back here. But we'll deal with that later. Okay, so now I need the lighter brown too on this side. There we go. And the color is cooling off. I got to be careful. It's cooling down for the blend. There we go. I'm trying to reheat it up. Okay, so not fully done. I'm going to add the darker brown in a second. Okay, there we go. I know some friends of mine who are painters and colorists. They like to do the brown first and then darken it and lighten it up first. So they put the brown first and then they add the light side and darker. But if you do it this way, this is how we were taught, all of us. Let me extend my root over here. I'm going to extend my root back here. There we go. It just makes your life a little bit easier. Okay. So, especially when you're doing it for the first time. So now I'm going to go with the darker brown. Let's go with the darker brown. Should have been, no, that still will work nicely. And we'll blend in. I'm going into the dark side with this. There we go. Let me sharpen this a bit more. Because I'm doing more wood than, the wood's actually pushing off the color. So there we go. Blend that in. Whoa, okay, that's okay, we can erase that. It's not the end of the world. Although the pencil doesn't want to go up. Oh, I see, this is not, I see why. There we go. And maybe I should be blending this way. See that? It blends better this way. Picks it up, darkens it. Okay, I think we're good with the tree trunk. So, and also it's a tree at a distance. Let me get some brown here. So, and let me put some more brown down here. It was turning too yellow, I just realized that. Okay, sometimes you should leave it alone. There we go. Okay, so now that we've done that, and it's a little yellow here. Okay, so I've done, oops. Let me grab the eraser so I can erase that brown there. I'm going to have to incorporate. Okay, so I pretty much have done this. Now, the rooftop. We have the light reflecting here. So what we want to do is do two things. I'm going to use a little bit of white here. Tell you why, because most of the light's going to be coming here. So this is where most of the light reflection is going to be hitting it. Maybe a little bit here on top. Okay. It's okay, and definitely up here. And then I'm going to add the blue later on. Here, maybe a little bit white here. There we go. Maybe some here. Maybe some here. So now what I'm going to do is two things. I'm going to grab my baby blue. Where's the baby blue I had? There it is. So I'm going to grab the baby blue. Put these down for now. And you're going to see what's going to happen. Here's my rooftop. Most tiles in Japan are blue. There we go. But I'm going to make these lighter because this is where the light's hitting it. There we go. Okay, there we go. Whoops, that's too dark. Maybe a little bit down here. Okay, so I'm going to go, blue here. See that? And later on I could touch it up with the ink. But I'm not going to do that first. And let me do this side. Maybe a little bit up here too. There we go. Get it here. Let me erase some of that pencil markings here. Just mix it up. There we go. And I can still add, much more blue down here. So now what you want to do is darken this hue. Since I erase this, let me use some of that. Light's going to be bending here too. Let me get rid of that ink. Maybe just put a little bit of blue here. Same thing here. So here, and just to help me out, there we go. Then do this for this rooftop here. There we go. Good. Okay, so I'm going to go here like this. There you guys go. Okay, so now let's do the blue here too. You guys can see that. I think I didn't put enough white. So down here, maybe a little bit up here. And I'm rushing through this, although I shouldn't. I'm going to erase some of these too, not too much. Put the pencil back in its station with the other, and I'm going to darken. So I'm doing the light blue first. A little bit down up here as well. Sky. The trick to the sky is blue, but not yet. I'll tell you why. We're not going to be finished with this yet. And I'm going to come back to the cherry blossoms in a little while. So I'm going to go with the darker blue. Okay. Is this my darker blue? Yes, it is. And I'm going to start darkening my tile, my rooftop here a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. On some sides, not all of it. And especially here, where the shadow is. You guys see that? So we just want to just blue this side a little bit, make it much more darker. This side is going to be, again, lighter blue, darker blue, because this is where the shadow's hitting it. Okay, there we go. See that? I'm going to have some contrast now. And it's okay to flip it around like I am. It actually helps a bit. So this means this one's going to be a little bit darker than the others. You're going to see some of the change down here. I'm going to erase some of this down here too. And put some darker blue on this side. And a little bit down here, because we're seeing it from inwards. Except here it's going to start Okay, so this means this side will probably be a little bit darker. This one will be a little bit darker too because of the light. Here we go. So using the darker blue, that's my advice. Use the darker blue. Don't do a complementary. And follow the roof. There we go. And even the graphite's going to darken your color right now. So this means this side, there's going to be more light on this side than the other one. So we're going to go with the opposite. There we go. Down here. Okay, that kind of works. Now we are going to use the complementary, but very little. And I'll tell you why. You don't want to overwhelm your composition. So I'm going to grab some of the orange. Whoops, not that orange. The brown, this orange. Okay. I'm going to darken this more down here. And add some of the blue. That's probably what it wants. And it's going to become darker. So right here, I'm just going to put one line of orange. That's it. Just one line of orange. I'm going to go with my light blue again. I'll tell you why. Because I wanted to see where light is, but also want to darken it. There we go. There we go. And I'm going with the light blue right now still. And probably here. But I'm going to darken this a little bit right now. There, put some orange, just very little. I'm going to go with the light blue because I still know light's going through here. Maybe get here. Later on, I can touch this up with here. We're going to have some lightness too. But we're going to have a dark side. Very little, but not too much. And let's go over here. Not too much. Just try to blend it in with the white. There we go. Yeah, most rooftops in Japanese castles are blue tiles, traditionally, in southern part of Japan. So what I told you guys would be a little bit of darkness here. Okay, so now I'm going to put the baby blue first. There. Follow the orange with the baby blue. And now I'm going to go with the darker blue. And it's going to darken. It has a little bit of the orange in there. But it's going to get a shadow right now. And right here, well, I'm going to make it look like I'm going to give it some darker blue right now. Not too much, just a little bit. Kind of letting it know the tiles are, you know. And then using a tip of the orange, I'm going to really have to sharpen this. I'll tell you why. Now I really do need a tip. No, that's not a good sharp tip. There we go. So I want to emphasize darkness. So I'm going to follow the lines, not all of them, just a few. So I can add texture. Whoops, that's gone. Into the garbage can. So let this guy rest. I'm going to go with a fresh pencil. Sharpen the tip again. I pressed too hard. You're not supposed to do that. There we go. That's a large tip right now. And just very gentle because I notice it's kind of flattish. There we go. Just a little bit of orange. There we go. A little bit of orange there. A little bit of orange here. Especially up here. Very little here. Just a few. Follow the lines of the... Okay, and I'm going to put it down here too. I'll tell you why. The reason I'm doing it where the circles of the bamboo is, that's where my shadow is going to go. And this one breaks again. I'm just not the friend of my orange pencils. Is this red or blue? Orange, great. So I'm going to try to use this one. Emphasize the line there. Just a little bit, not too much. A little bit here too. Maybe the dark here as well. Do the lines here. Down here too. Maybe the lines here. Remember, this was dark blue. And I should do this first too. Let's see what happens if we do them first. And see what we have. Didn't do this rooftop. Okay, just a few lines. Okay, follow that. I'm skipping around. Okay, because we know the complementary of this guy is blue. And the light's hitting from this reflection, so this means this side's going to be a little bit darker. Maybe down here too. Definitely I'm going to have shadow here. So I'm going to darken this, put just a little bit. And definitely here. That's it. Now I'm going to bring the blue. Bring the blue again. Bring it down here. I think I'm going to go with the darker blue, just to be on the safe side. There we go. There we go. I've done that. Okay, down here too. It will darken. Do I have to? Nope. So if I go like this here, gotta be careful. I keep forgetting I got some of it is still pencil. So I'm gonna go here. There we go. There we go. So I think my mom just went outside. There we go, guys. Here we go. So I guess I'm doing the rooftops then. So I'm gonna grab some of the dark one. And I'm gonna emphasize the darker side now. Let me sharpen this pencil, the dark blue. There we go. So this side's going to be my darker side. There we go. Later on I can trace it with the, let's go. So this is going to be my darker side. There we go, Mr. Navas. Okay, get some of that orange blend in there. Same here. Except I'm going to go with the lighter blue to contrast it. You're going to notice that. There we go. Then I'm going to do this side blue. This side lighter blue. Okay, that kind of works. Okay, bring back the darker blue. There we go. A little bit of darker blue here too. I might have to put a little bit more light here. So that means I have to use white. I want to create that contrast now. Got to blend in that white in there. Same thing here. Just realized that. Here I'm going to put a little bit more white. And bring this back here. Okay, good, good, good. There's my darker. How are we doing here? So I'm going to come back to the darker blue. And I should have done that. There's the tissue. That's what it is. It's too dry. A little bit of blue here. Let's finish down here. There we go. I'm trying to do this real fast, which I shouldn't, but oh, it's coming out. Actually, I like the bamboos down here. Actually, they come out much nicer. And let me emphasize the line down here. Whereas up here, let me get this dark side. There we go. So this side's going to be dark, but this side's going to have a little lighter side. And again, I'm going to blend in more blue on this side. Well, that's a lot, especially here. Especially, I want to see some shadow there, so let's turn some of that. There we go. I'm going to have to use my eraser. There we go. There we go. And it's getting there. I just guess I was blending it too lightly. Maybe I should have gone darker first. Actually, there we go. There we go. Let's go here on this one. This side's going to be a little bit lighter here too again, but then it's going to darken because of the tower. There we go. And maybe up here. Get that fine tip. So you want to go with the darker side. Maybe put it here. There we go. Bring the lighter side on this side. Get that. Maybe a little bit down here too. There we go. So it's starting to color little by little, but it's getting there. Okay. I wanted to put some texture by adding the orange in there. It does that. I still got to finish this. So I went with the lighter blue on this side where the light's hitting it. If you want to make it lighter, add white to it. Let me darken this. Follow. This one will be probably a little bit off. I want one to be darker, one to be lighter. Don't want it to look all the same. We want to make it look like humans made this. It wasn't made by a construction company in the 21st century or 20th century. We want it to look like it was man-made. Okay, so I think I'm pretty good with this right now. And let's take a break from the roof. Let it cool down. Let's get back to the trees now. Since we let the trees dry up a bit, here's the trick. So you have the light hitting on this side. We already know this, I hope. I'm going to do mountains after the cherry blossom. So I'm going to need white. You're going to need a little bit of red and maybe some orange, but definitely red. And now we want to use the pink. And we're not done with the tree trunks. I just noticed that. I noticed I'm not done with the tree trunks here too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase some of the mountains here. Whoops, got to be careful. I had some orange, so you've got to clean your eraser too. But I'm going to use that for my light reflection then. So you make it work for you. So now I'm going to think of my cherry blossom. The part where the cherry blossoms are going to go. Okay, so I'm going to make my lines very weak here, just like a cloud. I'm going to blend it in. You're going to see part of the mountains too. So same thing here. Even though I didn't paint my mountains, I'm going to let some of the lines there. So it's going to darken here too. This is part of the shadow of the cherry blossom. I'm going to incorporate it into the outline of the mountain as well. So it's going to go outside the frame. So here we go too. Maybe out here too. But I'm not done with the. I just noticed I didn't finish all my. So let's do the cherry blossoms. I'm going to do the cherry, and most of them are pink. Oh, we do need purple. That's what I was forgetting. Bring purple back again. Is that purple? No, that's brown. We're going to need that later. Is that purple? No, that's blue. I'm not going to need that yet. Keep the blues together because we're going to need them for the sky. Oh boy. Is that purple? Please let it be purple. That's perfect. So for the purple, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the bottom where I think my cherry blossom. I'm going to pop around for my cherry blossoms. The reason is cherry blossoms, the color, the pink, turns on top purple because of the shadow. And I just killed it. I pressed too hard. That's why I'm not a colorist. I press too hard when I use the pencil. I just use it to sketch. That's why I'm a painter. I was born a painter, sorry. Everybody in my family painted. My dad. It's just kind of a family hobby, I guess. So cherry blossoms. And then up here, they're going to look more like. I'm just, wherever I see put purple, then up top of here, it's going to be little dots of pink. Maybe one back here, maybe one down here. Okay, to do the cherry blossom. And we're going to have to gray out the white. Because if we just leave the white out, you're not going to see it. So bottom is purple. It's going to go this way. Especially up here. And that's perfect because the mountains are purple. So I'm going to jump into the mountains later on. I'm going to save you guys a lot of time with the mountains. So we did the purple. So let's put the purple back to bed. Not yet. It's going to come back. Now the pink. The pink's going to go on top. So wherever you put purple, you're going to have to put the same amount of pink on top for the cherry blossoms. Up here I did lines. Okay. And cherry blossoms, I always thought they were hard to paint. Or draw. Sorry, I keep saying paint, but you know what I'm talking about. Blend it in with your purple. Okay, so right there. And we're going to color the tree trunks later. The branches, I should say. We already did the tree trunks. We just got to do. So let me put a bit more pink here for the cherry blossoms. Okay, maybe put one here. Give me the purple again. There we go. Okay. Maybe another cherry blossom down here. Okay, another one down here. There's going to be a lot of cherry blossoms here. Let me put more up here. That's just not enough. And maybe some of them falling down. So always remember, the bottom of a cherry blossom when we paint or draw is purple. The top is pink. So I'm going to have a few cherry blossoms falling down too. Maybe onto the water. We cannot add all details. There we go, more purple. There we go. Another one down here. Now using the pink on top. There we go. There are my cherry blossoms. So wherever you see purple and arch purple, you guys see what I'm doing? Okay. So you want to add the cherry on top. Now some people do another thing. They add a little bit of orange in there. And that's okay. You can do that. You just put very little. You want to do it where the sun's hitting it. You want to do that. So notice how it's becoming cherry blossom here. You're going to notice this mostly on this one. There we go. So also, the reason is we can't see the details. You're coloring like an impressionist. You're focused on light, not on detail. And also, we're far away from the trees. So again, so I won't copy dirty this. The pink goes on top of the purple to make it look like a cherry blossom. Okay. It could be a cluster. There could be like 5, 6, or 7 of them. Not just one, Okay. Down here. Okay, this is coming out pretty good, actually. Here's a couple of more that are kind of skipping down. There we go. Can't see it. We're just seeing them from a distance. Okay. The problem is I never liked pink. It's a color. I think of Pepto-Bismol. So every time I get sick, I think of the color pink. There you guys go. Okay, I should have put a little bit more. So now, since the light's hitting the top of the tree, I'm not going to use a lot. I'm just going to use a little bit here to emphasize my cherry blossom. Just a little bit down here. And there we go. Maybe a little bit more here too. Maybe down here. I'm going to flip it around. So I'm kind of like imagining a cloud. Okay, so the bottom of my cherry blossom tree will be probably a little bit more pinkish. There we go. Same thing over here. Don't worry about. We're going to cover the. And what about the top, Mr. Navas? I'm going to make it look like it's, that bushy part of the tree. I'm going to show you the trick right now. Okay, you're going to grab your black. We don't have a gray colored pencil, but we do have a black one. And here's what I'm going to do. Where's my black one? Where's my black pencil? Here we go. So I haven't done the tree trunks here. The branches fully. So very carefully, I'm going to try to get into a fine tip. And I'm going to try not to press too hard. This will work too. I usually use charcoal pencil. So this is going to be where my shadows add. So I'm going to go very faint. And just like a cloud, there we go. I'm going to do it on this side. Kind of letting it know this is where the part of the right here, this is going to be my darker side. And I should be okay. You guys see that? And I kill my pencil. If that happens to you, I'm going to show you my other trick. Use your pencil. Okay, this will work much nicer too. And you can control it much easier. So there are my cherry blossoms. Okay. I want to erase some of the stuff I pre-drew. So I'm going to do the dark side, the bottom part. There we go here. Not all of it. I guess I'm going to need some more pink, so I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to grab some orange to create that. Whoops. That will work just nice. Not too much, just a little bit, you know, especially down here. It's going to make the cherries look, you know, they're blooming. It's early spring. That's when they bloom in Japan. I never been in Japan in spring. I've been there during the summers. Okay, but never during the spring. One winter. After Christmas, because it's very expensive to be there during Christmas. Okay, there we go. Blend that in. So I'm using the orange now. I'm not using, and I'll tell you why. So I'm going to grab, I'm going to have to darken this a bit more. So I'm going to go in here. As you can see the volcano back there. I don't want to see that volcano again. So I'm going to grab the purple. See if I can do it with this. There's my cherry. Because cherry blossom trees almost look like they're transparent. So there we go. There we go. See that? And on top, let me grab, where's my gray? Come back with this one down here because it's working perfect for this. And I can still do the tree trunks later when it's going to be popping out. There we go. Doing my shadow here. Although I'm not finished with the branches down there. I think I'm good with this. Okay. There we go. It's going to go outside. There we go. So a little bit more down here. Okay. Down here too. So there's my shadow. So my little... so I'm going to take a break from this right now. So right now we did the rooftop, we did the cherry blossoms. Next we're gonna do two things. I'm gonna do the moat, probably the stones, and the grass here. Back here I'm gonna put an emphasis for a forest, and I'm gonna do the mountains. Actually, the mountains are really easy to do, but I don't want to do them yet because we're not done with the tree branches on this cherry blossom. So that'll be video number 2. Okay, guys. So I'll talk to you guys later. I want to do it with much more light. It's 5 o'clock. I'm already losing my evening light. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.